name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is June 18, 2025. It is 3:11 a.m. This is video number 2. Video number 1 is on PYTE, talking about the podcast that Meghan was in. And I have some tweets here. Let me share them with you. Some are making reference to the podcast and different things. Royal vats, politics. Let's just go on Twitter, okay? That was the last one I shared on my last video. First tweet. Okay, so let's pause. I should have put this on the other one, and the last video, the last tweet should have been over here. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Alright, and there it is. This is why royal voters are crashing out. Meghan having space on social media where she can share whatever she wants at any given time ruins their narrative. The headlines don't hit the same since she came back on social media. They can't lie in peace. Okay. Alright, Meghan Sussex on reclaiming her voice back. Let's listen. 20-second screenshot.
For me, it was a great way to get my voice back.
Yeah, you have to.
Get my voice back.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, and that's really, it's my space and my channel for joy. That is the intention of my handle.
Well, I think that you're...
I'm glad. Okay. On my last recording that I just did on PYTE, one of the things that I said, I started watching the podcast on YouTube and I fell asleep. So I need to watch it again to finish watch it. So one of the things I've said about, not on that last video, but some other videos, where we could, at least for me, I could see the differentiation between her two IG pages. As ever will be her business, and Meghan, the IG handler, it's for her fan, showing things that she wants to share with us. Okay, so she sort of gave a hint about that. Let me move it back slightly.
That is the intention of my handle.
Well, I think that your voice carries such unbelievable influence.
For me, it was
Okay.
a great...
Let's see here. Full interview. So that's the link, the YouTube link. Let's go to the next tweet. I need to finish watch it. And one of the things that I saw on her thing, she did an interview, Emma, I'm talking about Emma, on her podcast, or on her channel. I think she did an interview with Melody Hobson. So that's one I want to watch. Okay, next tweet. When Meghan mentioned the investment she and Harry make, all I heard was more money, more money, more money. Exactly. And the kind of money that she has, her own part for VC money, venture capital, for her separate project, not their joint portfolio, but hers. I'm sure the kids already have their funded trust set up. If just one of her companies sells for millions or billion, she'll get her money back. Okay. And okay, I didn't get to that part because I fell asleep. The part that I remember, that the last I remember on that podcast, is where she was talking about the Netflix part, the partnership and things like that, and then I was gone. Oh my, gone meaning I fell asleep. Okay, understand she's been friends with Serena and Alexei Ohanian, that's Serena's husband. She started investing the moment she smelled the salt from that island. And then she's, I don't know how close she is with Melody Hobson. Melody Hobson is another financial person who knows the numbers. She did an interview with her. I have some videos about that. Okay, just when Salt Island put out a documentary about Harry and Meghan being broke, oh, they did. Like they can begin to imagine how wealthy these two are. I don't know. When was that? Making the money work for you, not you working for the money. Okay, yes, I knew this will have jaw dropping. The thought of Harry and Meghan checking their gains and popping off to courtiers. There's that money. I know, right? 100%. People are laughing. Let's go to the next tweet. I wonder, I bought some government bonds. I'm wondering how that, I need to check on them. When I first started buying bonds, they were paper. They used to send them to me, mail it to me. And then they went, you know what? Let me not say, because this guy is ruining everything. I'm wondering how much they're worth now. Because one of the things that I used to do when I was working for a firm, every time I get a paycheck, I took $500 out. Okay? 500, either I buy bonds, separate, not too much, sometimes 100 here, 100 there, or whatever. And I will put also on my, I create an account for investment, to buy stocks and things like that. I will just send the check to myself, okay, to deposit into that account. It will just sit there until I find something that I want to buy, some bonds or stocks, not bonds, stocks I want to buy. I did not buy company bonds. I buy government bonds, because company bonds were not that trustworthy. You could easily lose everything. But at that time, knowing what Trump is doing now, it was much safer to buy government bonds. Let's ask Chat GPS, which is safer to buy, government bonds or company bonds? I'm gonna ask Chat GPS that. I mean GPT. I keep on saying GPS. It's GPT. So this is what I wrote here. I'm not a business person, but before I did some of this back in the days, I did look into it. From my understanding, what I saw was a government bond was much safer. Okay, that was before Trump came into power. That was what, probably 15, no, maybe more than that. I didn't have kids, so maybe 20 years ago. Which is safer to buy, government bonds or business or company bonds? All right, let's see what ChatGPT said. All right, let's see here. All right, when comparing bonds and corporate business company bonds, government bonds are generally safer. Okay, this is why I used to buy government bonds. Okay, I'm not gonna read all of that. You could just go on Chat GPT and ask the same question. That was my understanding. Okay, and Chat GPT said the same thing. Government bonds are generally safer. Okay, and then there's the breakdown. So that's why I used to invest in government bond. I bought them and just let it sit there, instead of, when you put money into your account, the interests are like pennies. Okay, so I just buy couple bonds, sometime 100, depend on how do you call this? The ones that I used to buy was treasury notes, I think they were, or something like that. I need to go look for the paper one, and the account that I have for the treasury, I need to look for the password and things like that. But anyway, so yeah, I used to just buy that every paycheck, take $500 and buy some of these, and then take some of that money as well after I finish paying my bills. Okay, keep that in mind. And then just send a check with my name on it to put into my I create a for investment, what do you call this, where I buy stock. Just put it there, it sits there, it's almost like a saving until I decided to buy whatever stock that I think I want to buy. It could be Amazon, it could be Apple, or something like that. At least the money is there and at the moment. Because at that time, I still don't like to do transfer, give people my bank account and things like that. So I used to send a check. But anyway, that's my minimal. I'm not saying I'm a business person or financial person to know that, but my early years when I didn't have kids or anything like that, that's what I used to do. And they're still sitting there. I never touched them. Okay, never touch them. Occasionally, if there's a stock that I want to buy, I'll go into that account and see, okay, I'll buy. The money is there, the cash. You need the cash to be there, sitting there when you decided to buy, because now there's wire transfer. It could easily be done where you take money straight out of your checking account, go to the whatever company you create to do the stock and things like that. Before it was Ameritrade, but they close it, they sell it to, what is it, Merrill Lynch or something like that. So I'm not saying this for you to go do. It's best to speak to a financial advisor. But for me, with my limited knowledge, that's what I used to do. And those money are still sitting there. I never touch them. Okay? Anyway, so let's read this. Royal insiders are so mad that Duchess Meghan asked people to tell the truth. Okay? Their tongues might burn. If they tell the truth, they really can't even come out to perform properly, let alone tell the truth. It'll be better if we ask them to put the ground on fire where they walk. At least we'll know for sure who their real master is. So we've gone from 10 staff to 2 again. They lie and manipulate so much they can't keep their lies straight. Hit dog holler. Of course, the palace insider will be the first to comment because they're the biggest liars. Their assumption that she's talking about the palace is an admission that they absolutely lie about her. Alright, and I'm sure when she does those podcasts, she makes sure not to name certain things, but there they are. I didn't read the celebrity thing. She usually quote the papers, but we already know it's probably the royal vats. Okay, the fact that she doesn't discuss them or acknowledge their existence wreck their world. There's the laugh here. The royal insider, aka the royals, are always mad about something. I know. This is what keep them alive. They have to look at things that make them mad so they could be mad. Okay, hit dogs hollering. I'm sure we'll receive more Meghan or Bully story and other nonsense because they're hard pressed. She refuses to allow them to continue lying on her. Of course they are. There's that. Well, of course they are. Guilty conscious, need no accuser. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. Okay, IG Travalyst. I posted something on our Port of View service where they list who the countries that come for, what is it, they might give for IG 2029, I think. I post that on our Port of View service. This is a channel where I talk about their work. I didn't put it on PYTE or RPU Team Sussex. Alright, IG has 6 countries interesting and hosting. Travalyst is adding more businesses to their network, but that Sophie lady expected us to believe that SB Santa Bali was losing donors because of Harry. Okay. Alright. By the way, have they found a host yet for the Commonwealth Games? If they hadn't, yeah, it's gonna go to Birmingham as well. Is it Scotland, Glasgow, Scotland, from my understanding. But they're gonna slim down the competition or whatever the games is. The last I heard, I don't know if they're talking about the next time after that. Alright, if they hadn't messed up with Harry, that would have been a logical fit for him and it would have been thriving. I mean, I don't know why they're going after Invictus. I know that their eyes are into Invictus, but they have the Commonwealth game, but they just want something, a finished product that looks good. Okay, this is that thing here. Invictus, Harry work hard behind the scene to make it what it is here. Because people are gravitating toward it. The squad are glorifying it. My channel talks about it sometimes. Okay, so this is what they want. But they don't know the work that needs to be put in the background. This is the thing Meghan keeps on talking about when she gets a chance. Okay, she surely lost donors because of Harry. You don't go on national television to speak lies about a beloved prince with a stellar reputation and expect donors to open their coffers. And then what is it? Is it ISPS Honda? Before all of this came to light, they removed themselves from the toxicity that they saw was happening. but they remain with Invictus. So that alone should tell you something. And also the character of ISPS Honda. Okay, now we're seeing the nonsense that's going in the background. You see, they don't want to be part of that. Alright, her mistakes was believing the British media lies that Harry is hated. Huge mistake. But she knows what she was doing because she worked with them before. She was on the board before. And then she left and then went back. Now I understand why sometimes businesses don't allow their former employees to come back. That's a learning lesson for Harry. After she came back again and she did this. Because she already knew how it worked inside. This baggage for God. Exactly. Alright, now she's begging $3,000 online, something Harry will never and then have to do. That evil witch is destroying Centervalley. There's a special place in hell for her. Alright. For some reason, I feel like, okay, then we're in anywhere, just my humble opinion. I feel like Harry probably be doing something in the background without the attachment of Centervalley. Okay. And once the investigation is done, I don't know why it's taking so long. Depend on how it goes. They probably, Harry and Prince Yoso probably open another one similar to Centervalley, probably with a different name. But what she did is unbelievable. All right, if they decided to take it away from them the way that they did. And then Harry, who has a mind of knows how to create, so you just leave that aside and start new. Alright, there's that. Exactly. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Beyonce. I have 3 more. Okay, I know it hurt AMELIA WYNNE having to write that second article, the way Beyonce and Harv always get the last laugh. Okay. Let's see here. The only reason I'm sharing this because there was sometime last week I took a screenshot out of a video of the stadium she was performing in the UK. Somewhere in the UK. I'm not sure which part of UK. Beyonce is still struggling to sell hundreds of tickets ahead of her first UK Cowboy Carter show at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tonight. So June 25th. So that's probably around the time I took the screenshot of that stadium. Okay. AMELIA WYNNE. Okay, so they saying she's having a hard time. But normally they need part of the stadium to be like the background. Because the stadium is oval and they need dressing room, people's going change and things like that. But whatever. Who am I to say? Next. This is the other one here. Oh, she write that too. Beyonce concludes her epic 6-night concert run in London as she breaks her own huge record at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Oh my God, they have no shame. So that was June 17 and she wrote that June 5th. Let's read some of the comments. Donkey of the day, AMELIA WYNNE, laughing my ass off. Well, today is Tuesday. There's that, AMELIA WYNNE. Oh, was it by voodoo? Okay, so there's that word here. It's an abbreviation. I don't know what it stands for. Next tweet. A lot of emojis, or GIF I should say. 2 more tweets after that. Let's pause. Ingrid Seward in 2018 after the successful Oceanic Tour. So I'm assuming 2018, so that's Harry and Meghan Oceanic Tour. In a way, KKK doesn't have to project herself so much because she is going to be queen. She doesn't need to do all that PR for herself. She just needs to be beautiful. That reminds me of this video where that lady said Kate is a mute woman. There's that video that I'm making reference to.
One of the reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned mute woman.
All right, so let me go into it, and so it could be bigger. It's 27 seconds. Ingrid says this ain't it. You were trying to make it sound good and instead made it worse somehow. So Kate is only good for standing there and looking pretty. This is your future queen concert. Yikes. Princess Diana would have never, and neither will Meghan. Alright. 27 seconds. Let's listen.
I don't know whether the Duchess of Cambridge has spoken so much on royal tours.
She did speak on her
But
royal
so
tour.
much.
Not so much, but I mean, you know, she doesn't, in a way, she doesn't have to project herself so much because she is going to be queen, well, hopefully. She is the next queen, the next queen but one. I think she doesn't need to do all that PR for herself. She can just look beautiful. She doesn't need to do quite so much.
I don't know whether...
Oh well, there's that. OMG, what an insult to the current queen who worked hard on behalf of the British people. Okay. Oh, 2018. So Queen Elizabeth was still alive. Because I'm thinking, who worked so hard for the British people? I'm thinking of Camilla. That was back in 2018, okay? That's Queen Elizabeth. Before she passed. Okay. Is this fool for real? Poor Kate, I feel this ignorant woman just threw her under the bus. Exactly. Queen Elizabeth didn't work this hard to be where she's at now by standing there and looking pretty in front of cameras. She sounds so dumb. If anything, this isn't helping Kate at all. This is actually quite insulting to her. So there's more. Let's go back to present time. That's a retweet. Okay, I just came from the retweet back in 2018. So now we're back in 2025. Haha, beautiful but dumb. She's never done anything for herself. She's never had a full-time job. She's never been a self-made millionaire. She's done absolutely nothing apart from push out the next heir to the throne. Ingrid, what are you talking about? The media does so much PR for her. You know, well, that was before people, majority of the squad, the new one, then no, but hey, they telling their nonsense. You know, like her work ethic. Okay. You know, like her. Okay, you don't like her work ethic. It's ridiculous. And if Meghan wasn't a threat, you wouldn't be sitting there, or you won't be sitting here now trying to tear her down. Same with Lady Di. She was a threat and you had to diminish her. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, the last two tweets have absolutely nothing to do with the royal family. This is Jon Stewart giving talking what's going on about the Iran Israel thing. All right, so it's 3 minutes and 4 seconds screenshots. Okay, Bibi been saying the same thing since the 1980s. Wake up, America. The Israel are leading you up the garden path to another Iraq. All right, Jon Stewart. All right. Well, one thing I have to say, this is not like new to, at least for me, it's not a surprise. That last election was so deliberate to cater to him, to what we have now. And this is why Israel was taking advantage. They didn't know that Iran was going to fight back. There's so much to share, but I just don't share it because, YouTube, when, when Israel was attacking Palestine, they put that disclaimer, don't talk about deceased people, children, and all of that. Now it's happening to the thing. I'm just keeping my mouth shut. Because they blind the media to not talk about their savagery. The thing that you see happening in Los Angeles, grabbing people on the street, I don't know if it's going to be worldwide, but grabbing people on the street and things like that, pushing and instigating, I saw them in Palestine. Okay? So what's happening here? I saw it happening in Palestine. And when Trump was trying to put the wall, one of the things, put the wall in the U.S., one of the things that I said, the same way the wall could keep enemies out, even though people could fly, it's also to keep people in. But let's listen to him.
But what happened with Iran? Weren't we about to make a nuclear deal? Wasn't our deal maker in chief making a deal to keep Iran from enriching uranium? Actually, didn't we have a deal before our deal maker in chief so wisely pulled us from that deal? Why did this have to go balmy on Iran now?
And by next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment, and move on to the final stage.
Iran is months away from having a nuclear bomb, says Netanyahu, in 2012. Why did we have to bomb Iran now?
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
Holy shit, that's why. Iran's only weeks away from having an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs, says Netanyahu.
And
in 2015. 2015. Think about that. Back when we all thought, oh no, the Republicans might nominate that madman Jeb Bush. Should have gone with the question mark. No, seriously, I'm not being facetious. I really want to know why we had to bomb Iran now.
We're going to show you Iran's secret nuclear files. Here's the warhead. Here's the bomb.
And that's from 2018. I don't know if Iran is any closer to having a bomb, but it is clear Israel now has the capacity to enrich their drawings. A hot war between Israel and Iran could threaten the United States. It's best we stay out of it.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying Israel took unilateral action against Iran and that the U.S. is not involved in strikes.
We're not involved. That's good. That's good.
The U.S. says it was informed beforehand.
Good neighbor policy. I mean, we were informed. They let us know. Still not being involved, really.
President Trump acknowledged yesterday that he was aware of the Israeli operation, and he gave it a green light.
It's still Israel's game.
Israel used American equipment during its initial strikes against Iran.
What the f*** are we doing? All right, so we knew, and we approved, and we gave them all the shit to do it with.
Okay, all of the thing that's happening in the U.S., where he's purging the government, trying to, whatever he's doing, they were in their next phase. Okay, they thought they were just gonna build. Okay, remember when he came and said something about waterfront properties and all of that? The money was coming from the U.S. What he's doing here now, okay, cut Social Security, Medicaid, and all of that. Use the American money to go build those waterfront thing in Palestine, okay, Gaza. And then what they were gonna do, okay, I truly believe, it's not written anywhere, whatever's happening in the Middle East, they were going to turn it into what the United States is. You see how we have 50 states, okay? Each state will be run by, let's say in the UK, I'm saying the UK, and the Middle East, each of those countries, okay, will be a different state. And then they will be the one who control the Middle East. All right? So this is why they're going from country to country. They didn't think Iran was going to retaliate. And then they're trying to lie about it, that it was Iran who started it. All right? But I think there's a window of opportunity here. They put a halt into their plan. Iran put a halt into their plan. All right, this is my last one. So much, I didn't go in the comments, but there's so much to say about that. All right, so there's this here. Caps remind an all-white man that this isn't 1965 anymore. All right, so let's listen. 58 seconds. This is the cop, and this is the all-white guy here. Just listen.
You ain't gonna talk to somebody like that. She's here to do a job and run a business. What she does is her business when it comes to this job. She can refuse service to anybody she chooses. And if you had a business, you do the same doggone thing. So you're not going to sit there and disrespect somebody like that. Do you understand me, sir? I'm not going to let it happen. That's why you're being trespassed. You don't call people punk because you don't like something. That's not how this goes.
That's
at
how
all.
it used to go.
Well, things ain't how they used to.
When I was a kid, that's where it used to go.
Oh, well, the things ain't how they used to be no more.
Okay. This is what Trump wants. What is it? MAGA, Make America Great Again, to go back. All right, this is what this white guy is saying. This is how it used to. And Trump wants to bring this type of thing back. And kudos. I don't know when this was recorded. If this is, I don't know, a recent one, prop to that cop. Okay, kudos to him.
You got that right.
Well, maybe it's time to get with it.
I don't like the way it is.
Well, then don't shop here.
That's
I
it.
didn't like this.
Well, if this is part of that, and I ain't gonna stand here and argue that with you.
Newness of life, I don't like it.
Well, then there's a common denominator there, and it's you.
Long time ago, this wouldn't happen to me. I promise you, this wouldn't happen to me. I'd whooped all y'all.
What?
I said, a long time ago, this wouldn't happen to me because I'd whooped all y'all.
Well, it ain't happening now.
I'm 81 years old.
Well, don't start talking like that, because how this goes. I promise you, that's not how this goes. You ain't gonna talk to somebody like that.
Let's see some of the comment here. The problem with some white people is that they think all this racist shit was 100s of years ago. It wasn't. I'm in my 20s. My parents were born during segregation. It wasn't that long ago. He's a perfect example of that. He taught his kids to be just as racist. We're not generations removed from all of that. All right, exactly. Clone the cop. Yeah, indeed. That's a very good cop. I wonder which part in the South, because I hear the accent from both of them. Okay, I have a feeling this fine gentleman voted to make America great again. That's what I'm thinking. Right. What occurred prior to the cop showing up, I wish I could gain full understanding of that situation, of the situation. In today's world, hard to trust anything presented missing key part or explanation of them. Probably the person in the store then want to serve. I would like to know too. It's not just we're not curious of the event that led to. Okay, I agree, right? It's hard to trust certain things unless you heard him literally display his ignorance. He literally showed up that he wants things to be like how they were when he can just say anything to anyone. He also then threatened to beat up the cop if this was years ago, yet somehow you need more understanding. I understand, but the interaction inside the store, and you hear the cop saying that you don't have to shop here. The common denominator is you. All right. He wants to call people names, and the person probably then serve him. I guess now I'm putting everything together. The person inside the store, because of what he said to the person inside the store, then appreciate it and say, I'm not gonna serve you, whatever it may be, help you. And they probably call a cop on him. He's 80 something years old. They could have beat him up, but because of his old age, they try to pity him and call the cop. And there's the cop here trying to said, okay, if you don't like something about that store, don't go shop there. That's the sensible thing. But he still wants to go and then mistreating people. I don't know. But anyway, I guess I respond to the answer. Let's do a prayer. Prayer for protection I did on my last video. Let's pick something below it. A prayer for protection. Lord, I pray for a divine protection upon my life as I embark on this new day. Hold me close to you, keeping away all the harms and dangers that may come my way. Surround me with your shield of protection and strength. Amen. Alright, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so that is it. Thank you for watching. All right, so you're seeing all the money that I'm making here. Nothing to hide. That's it.
Vanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.